Hello and welcome to Never a Foul. It's another Saturday debate. No big games today, but a lot of games coming up our way. I'm here with a fantastic panel just to discuss title race. We're going to talk about Newcastle Man United, the takeover of Man United. What does it mean that no Qataris? And also Arsenal, is it a process or the process is done? I know a lot of people have a say in this. And that's it. Is Newcastle ahead of the curve?
Mo, I've got to pull you up, right? I have to pull you up on this. And it surprised me when you said that you didn't wake up to watch the games today. You just said there was no big games today. You sound like an Arsenal fan. You sound like an Arsenal player. No. You sound like an Arsenal fan or player when they were going into the Southampton and the West Ham games, going, these aren't big teams. We're going to get through.
Why F me for?
No, because bro, this narrative that it's not a big game. Crystal Palace needed a win today, yeah? Nottingham Forest.
He's a casual, but don't make us all casuals.
But Forest needed a win. They're 1-0 up. They lost 2-1. Brighton lost in the FA Cup final. Brighton today bounced back and showed just how good Brighton are.
They won 6-0.
Well, they won 6-0, but they looked so good. And let's remember, Arsenal and Man City both have to play Brighton. So let's not downplay the games today. Let's not
Brighton rested off the team as well. McAllister didn't start. Caicedo didn't start.
I didn't watch it. I didn't watch it answer football today.
7 team played today. Is that better? Is that better?
Oh, listen. Firstly, Roy Hodgson, man, we've got to salute him. And if there's anyone in here that isn't happy for Roy Hodgson, yeah, this is a story. This man retired from football, right? And he could be any of our granddad, right? He retired from football. He's had a few years off. He's sat at home. Probably his missus has got a bit irritated with him and said, go and take up golf or do something. And he thought, I love football. I'm going to go back. And I'm gonna manage again. And do you know what is so refreshing? Yeah, is that it's like his time out. He's become hybrid. Yeah, that he's come back and old school Crystal Palace. They're still defensive. There's no playing the ball out from the back. They are just doing old school defensive work, booting it. Yeah, but then second balls. They're winning the second balls, and then it's like at last Vieira couldn't get Elise and SA playing together. Roy Hodgson's come in and said, right, defenders, you defend and boot the ball. But when the ball gets up top, play some ball. And it's like hybrid. He's mixing old school vibes with new school vibes. And you can't be unhappy seeing someone that could be your granddad, taking Palace away from relegation. And he's done it. He's turned them around, man.
No, I'm not happy. I just have long-standing hatred for Roy. I have long-standing hatred for Roy.
Let's just talk about it. Maybe we throw in Newcastle as well, since nobody wants to say that Newcastle are top 6 club and they don't want to give them props. So let's just throw Newcastle. So the show today is going to be about Newcastle, how good Brighton and the Derby is, Roy Hodgson, Crystal Palace, and we'll talk about Marco Silva as well. Let's talk about that. How about we talk about
as if Mo's putting us on the same level as Crystal Palace? I'm not having that. I'm not having that today.
I'm not saying that.
Is Isaac better than Ivan? Is Isaac better than Ivan Toney?
Yeah.
Is he?
Yeah, I think he is.
Interesting.
The real question is Ivan Toney better than Callum Wilson?
Well, no.
Ooh, I'd say Ivan Toney is better. Yeah. Well, not Isaac. No. Isaac's a bit far.
Okay. Can we first, before we start talking? Okay, can we hit that like button, people? Listen.
Yeah.
We gotta get to 100 likes so the show will go on. And then people will see it. So I need everybody that is watching the show now, hit that like button. If you don't know what it is, it's underneath your live chat. Close the live chat, hit that like button, and come in, please. So, yeah, you guys, it's open floor. Whoever wants to say, this is a debate show. You can raise whatever. I'm a no host. I'm just here for the vibes. So let's just do that.
I don't know if we can have you there, though, because you didn't watch the game today. I genuinely watched one of the weirdest performances I've ever seen from Thomas Souček today.
I also didn't watch any football today, guys. I apologise.
No,
today,
honestly,
right?
that game was just a
I had
joke.
life things to do, right? Like go to the cinema, right? Like I don't know if I could put myself. Actually, that is a lie. I did watch the second half of West Ham and Crystal Palace.
Oh, so you missed the line
it was
about
a lie.
Thomas Suchek.
Honest to God, that was a good game, though. It was a good game. Obviously, Palace came back from being 1-0 down, made it 3-1. Then West Ham came back. That was an exciting game. It was a good game of football. Brighton today. Brighton just balled out, man. I'm not.
So how about we start with Brighton for real? How about to start with Brighton? I think for me, Brighton are the story of the season. Can Brighton really get Europa League ahead of Spurs and Liverpool?
Wait,
is that realistic for them?
I think Newcastle are more of a story.
No, but do you want honesty? So Daps will tell you. Myself and Daps from the beginning of the season, I think in August, we backed Newcastle.
From June, July, when
we backed me and Daps backed Newcastle to be top 6. We said it depends on other teams. They might make top 4 because we really looked at the facts. The fact is they were the 3rd best team from December last year until the end of the season. So we couldn't ignore it. So Mo, I don't think they're overachieving. To be honest, yes. Let me just finish. I don't think they're overachieving. They have been brilliant from December till June. They just continued the form.
Yeah, but you know what it is, right? So on DR today, we had a discussion about manager of the season. And I said, right, is this just based on Premier League? And they said, yeah. So let me just make that clear to everyone. And I said, okay. And me personally, as a City fan, I totally understand that with Pep and the Premier League, not the Champions League, let's park that, people expect him to do certain things. So I get it. Last season, I was a bit irritated that Klopp, I think, got manager of the season because I was like, if City win the league, then Pep, and it's between Pep and Klopp, Pep should get it. But if we're not talking about the league, both of them and give it to someone else. Anyway, this season, for me, we park up Pep. Robbie's brother, Laurie, hold tight, Laurie, he obviously said Arteta should be manager of the season. And I do get it because we didn't think Arsenal were going to be challenging. We gave a special word for Roy Hodgson. I said Eddie Howe because for me, you are right, Mo, that we did think top 6. But there was also context to me saying top 6. And the context I said was that, because remember, this was like late June when we did it. I said, I think they'll spend big in the summer and I think they'll spend big in January. And here's the key. They did neither, right? And they've still got not just top 6, they've got top 4. And another bit of a narrative to it is, I think when they got to the FA Cup final, they became a bit obsessed and focused on that. Their form went out the window in the league. Even after the FA Cup final, they didn't hit form straight away. But the way Eddie Howe used that international break to bounce back and the way they've bounced back, that's another narrative that he's also shown he can bounce back. And I just think it is a story because they haven't, everyone will say, oh, but they've got money. But they haven't really used it that much yet.
I wouldn't say they're my story though. I think there's another manager, and I think it's Unai Emery. I think Unai Emery should be in that discussion.
Yeah, but it's short time, Tom. I get it, but it's short time, isn't it?
No. But listen to it, Mo. Like they were 17th. They were basically in a relegation zone.
My boy Stevie could not manage them.
The man's taken them all the way up to European spots. Come on,
aren't they like the 3rd best team in Europe since he's come in? They're the only team to score in every single game he's managed. Like he's got numbers out of Watkins, who was the most perennially inconsistent striker I think the league had seen for a good couple of years.
I'm sure didn't Chris Wilder get it a few years ago when he was managing Sheffield United?
Yeah,
I'm sure he got it. But I tell you why.
Got 7th.
Yeah, I tell you why I don't think Arteta should get it out of. If he's going to go to top 4 manager, here's why, right? Everyone around him, even including Eddie Howe, and I'm not even just defending Eddie Howe just because of this, obviously, but Eddie Howe, Ten Hag have all got to a final. Ten Hag's got to 2 finals. Pep's won the Premier League. Arteta's done nothing other than yeah, but you know what I mean. I mean, if I meant me hypothetical was if Pep won the Premier League. Sorry, because you said even if Arteta comes second, that Robbie's brother said that he should get Premier League Manager of the Year. But he's done nothing else with the rest of the people around him.
Premier League only. So the cups don't matter.
Yes, but then Klopp got it last year. This is where I'm basing on. Klopp got it last year and didn't win the league.
No, when Daps asked the question, he said Premier League only.
I think there's relevance for, and ultimately
I don't even think Arteta deserves it anymore. I did say prior to, and the reason why I say it is because even coming second, it's his collapse. It's the way we collapse to not win the league. It's for me why he shouldn't.
This is why. But that's the key why for me, every single award should be done at the end of the season because
100%.
Because we're talking on managers, but only the four we had. Roy Hodgson deserves a salute because he's coming, but he's been here for like a few games. I do also think with De Zerbi and with Emery, both of them have done phenomenal jobs, but I don't think a player would ever get player of the season that came in the January transfer window, right? Because you'd just be like, they haven't done a full season. So, but I think the four are Emery, De Zerbi, Arteta, and
I don't put Arteta.
So this is how it works. So let me. We'll get everybody's opinion. This is how it works. I think so. It's the manager of an English club, okay, in all competitions. So to get manager of the year without being in Europe, you'll have to do something outstanding in the league. Okay, Jurgen Klopp got it last year. Their explanation, last year is that Jurgen Klopp, came second, but with his team, he reached a Champions League final, reached the 2 cup finals. That's their explanation.
Oh, well, then Pep's in for a shout for it then, rightly so.
No.
So here's the deal. So let me just finish.
The original question was different.
So yes, but I'm talking reality. I'm not talking. We're not gonna make our manager of the year in Premier League. We're not gonna make our manager of the year in FA Cup. We're just gonna say
another cup discussion.
But what I mean is that Arteta in the league, did he do something exceptional that it surpasses Pep if he wins a treble? No. Did Eddie Howe in the league did something spectacular in the league to surpass Pep if he reaches the treble? No. So realistically, but exactly.
Yeah.
But realistically, you'll have to like take a team like Nottingham Forest and come 6th in the league.
No, but that's what I'm saying. Now that you asked that question, that changes the answer to the.
That's the question I was going with originally, not the one
just
everybody's opinion about the 3 top managers in the league. We're not assuming that Pep is going to win the treble because we know that the trophy is being handled before the end of the season because they don't want to get influenced with a one game. This is the reason why the player of the season and the manager of the season, I think it gets 1 week before the end of the season because they don't want to get influenced on like last game result or something. They want to assess that all over.
I disagree with that though. Like I've always disagreed with that because this is where it's, I'm going to say clutch time. I'm going to use the basketball term. This is the championship minutes and everything. So I remember last year KDB, they finished the award voting the week before. He went and got 4 on Wolves' head in a game that people were going, oh, that's a dodgy one for City. And this is the thing. You do it at the end of the season. It won't take long to get all the voting because they've got nothing else to worry about. They probably get an email on it and they press a button and send it off. Why do it with 2 or 3 weeks beforehand? Let because what if Saka? What if Saka?
Let me hear Tom. Give me your explanation and give me your ranking first. Yeah, at the
end. For player of the year and manager of the year.
Manager. We're talking manager.
Manager of the year. I don't like the fact that it's all competitions, but it is all competitions. So if it's all competitions, it's Pep Guardiola.
Yeah.
If it wasn't all competitions, if it was just on Premier League, I'd be going Unai Emery because I think what he's done with that Villa team is a ridiculous feat with just how bad it was at the time.
And I would say if it's just the Premier League, then I'd say that it should be Eddie Howe, right? Because he's had a full season and where they are. But if it is other competitions, and this is a difficult one because the truth is, if we win the FA Cup and if we win the league, which we win the FA Cup and we win the Champions League, then it should be Pep. But if we don't, it shouldn't be Pep. No, it shouldn't be. I'm sorry.
No, I'm not laughing at you. I'm laughing at this super chat. Thank you so much, Idris, for the super chat. If Erik ten Hag wins the FA Cup, are you serious? Is that a serious shout?
Yeah, but no, but it is though, because if you think about it, that means he does the double and he finishes top 4.
Oh, he's not winning the FA Cup though.
No. But obviously, we're going in a hypothetical here. We're going.
Yes. But no, and that's the thing. It really does hand on it because I'm not going to sit here and say.
That's why it's stupid how early they're doing it because everything changes. Look,
I had this conversation earlier on DR. They were trying to really switch this narrative that our City bottled it if we don't do the treble. And the way I left it, but no, I said to him, look, if you want to somehow hear me say that City, if we don't win the league and the FA Cup, I have no problem with having the conversation that we've bottled that. No problem, right? I said, even if we beat Real Madrid and then we lose the Champions League final to one of the Milan teams, I'm willing to have that conversation as well. But I'm sorry, I'm not willing to say going out to Real Madrid in the Champions League is a bottle job, ever. I can't do that. Like,
it depends on the way you went out last season was a bit of a bottle job.
I hear that it, but for me more the Centurions, like I think Centurions going out to Tottenham, that was a bit of a bottle job, maybe. But
no, you went out to us, didn't you? When
was that you? Oh, so it was the season after
the 5-1 year when we let Ox go.
We have bottled things in Europe, but
Leon,
for me,
you had the year with Leon as well. Like you've had much worse
Champions League bottle job. There's been multiples, but for me,
the reason why I say that's a bottle job is because Pep effed that one up for you.
Either way,
his substitution is completely lost.
But what I'm trying to say is that our season is, if we don't win the Champions League and don't win the FA Cup and just win the Premier League, then I don't think Pep deserves to get manager of the season this season. No. I don't.
He's under-delivered, in my opinion.
It should be, all these things should be done later in the season. But yeah, but as for Brighton today, back to Brighton today, they just looked unbelievable, man. The football they play is just. And
are they the most fun team in the league now to watch?
Yeah, possibly.
Oh yeah, 100%.
Yeah,
it's so exciting. But you also got to understand, like, as much as people may say this or may disagree, Trossard was one of their better or maybe their best player. They sold in January and still kicked on. You can talk about Graham Potter. I know maybe you can say De Zerbi is maybe a better manager, but at the time, Graham Potter was one of their best managers. Got rid of him, lost their entire backroom staff, and he still managed to get that team into the position they're in today. You know, selling some of their best players over the years as well, and then reinvesting. And look at how good Moses Caicedo is. Look at how they handled that situation. The guy wanted to leave to go to Arsenal, but they managed to somehow keep him happy and keep him at the club and performing. It's got to be given, like, and they made they got to the FA Cup semi-final and kept United to the extra time. They only lost because Solly Marsh couldn't take a penalty again. So I think they've done.
So Unai Emery or De Zerbi? Which one? Someone tell me.
No, I'm
out of those two. Yeah,
I'd say Emery.
I'm fine with either of Eddie Howe or Emery. I just really think Emery deserves flowers for what he was done with that team, because he has still missed out as well with some like Diego Carlos, their big signing in the summer. Unai Emery.
But this is exactly why they've got to do it at the end of the season, though, because there's still they've got played more games than everyone else around them. I think they've played they've played 33, and there's teams like Brighton who've just touched 30 today. I think like they were on 29 before, they've just touched 30
today,
on 31st. Yeah, so they could still just get 8 or something.
Yeah, I think that.
Do you know what I mean? That's why it needs to be done at the end of the season. Definitely 100%. I agree on. I 100% agree on that. But shout out Emery and that. Shout out De Zerbi and that.
For me, the best manager this year is by far, for me in the Premier League, is Eddie Howe. By far. Yeah. But by far, it's not even close. To me, it's not even close. I know that the Zerbi is doing wonders and stuff. Unai Emery. For me, Eddie Howe, because even though I predicted Newcastle to make top 4, but the way they are doing it.
Top 6, we said, Mo, not top 4.
I said top 4.
I'm going to go and check that.
It was you and someone else who, there was one other person who said top 4. Oh, I can't think of who it is now. One random person. Oh, it was, no, I canme think of who it was, sorry. But I'm sure someone will tell us.
I'm going to check that. I don't think Mo did. Me and Mo were pushing top 4.
I think you, Daps, I think... In June, you said top, but I think after Liverpool dipped and Chelsea dipped, I think we did one in October.
Maybe then, yeah.
And then you said what? And then Cass was like, "Why are you guys saying top?"
Because
they are the better team now. Like they looked better, they looked good.
I think revised expectations isn't the same. What did you say before the season started? Not after you saw Liverpool.
I think we can go back to the maybe I said top 6, but because. No, actually, I said Newcastle top 4, and then after the Casemiro signing, I said Man United will make top 4 because the Casemiro signing was at the end of the window. Before Casemiro, I said United would finish 6th. And I saw Arsenal would finish like 5th or something. I said Newcastle. I thought Liverpool. But the one thing that I said before the season, I said that Liverpool might finish out of the top 4. I don't know why.
Yeah,
and I don't know why I said that. And Daps kept fighting it until December. And I kept telling them, they don't look like they're coming back. And he's like, the only team that can have a run is Liverpool.
Well, someone on this panel disagrees.
We always have someone that disagrees. We always have someone here that disagrees.
I reckon.
Do you think you actually get into a 4, Tom? Do you actually?
Yeah, I reckon we'll nick it off United.
How?
Oh my God! Okay, this is an amazing. Okay, let's deep this.
Wait. Oh, you've got the table there. That's what I need to see. So
you have to win. You'll have to win literally basically every single game.
No, we have to win everyone. We have to win every single game
because I think your maximum points total 71, and I think 71. if we won 4 of our last 7, we will beat that because we'll have 72.
I'm done. We're not catching you.
He's not
I
talking
know
about
we're not
Newcastle. He's talking
about
Man United.
But I mean, Man United have still got a game in hand on us even, and they're I think
yes,
2 points behind us.
But when I look at this
United team, frigging league table.
When I look at this United team and I look at their fixtures.
Yeah, that's what I was going to do. Let's park, because you've just said you don't think they'll catch Newcastle. So let's park Newcastle. And we're saying that you're saying Liverpool win every game, which, by the way, I do think is achievable. I've said this and I'll stick by it. If Liverpool start cooking, they can win all of their games. But let's look at United's fixtures and tell me their points they're going to gain. Because I can't.
Let's do it game by game. Then we can do it game by game. We can do Man United. Are going to start with Aston Villa
tomorrow.
I think they lose. Who's home, by the way? Who's home?
It's home and Man United is Old Trafford.
So 1 point.
I reckon that's a draw.
Yeah.
Right,
then
so
they've got Brighton. Then they've got Brighton away.
That's a loss.
That's a loss.
Yeah,
then they've got West Ham away. That's a draw or a loss.
That's a win.
I reckon that's a draw.
No, this is Tom. So let's go. This is what Tom's saying. So that's 2 points.
Okay.
Then they've got Wolves at home, which is a win. Wolves are awful. United will win that. That puts them on to 5 points. Then they've got Bournemouth away, which I reckon could be a draw. Because I reckon that's the game. No, because hear me out. I reckon that's the game where they can secure safety in the Prem. Bournemouth. Okay. So I reckon they could go and nick something.
Tom, let me ask you a question. Are you hoping or you're being realistic predictions?
I reckon,
are these predictions or by heart or
hopeful? Yeah, there's an element of hope to it, but they're also they've got Chelsea at home, which is a win.
So that's 9 points.
And then they've got Fulham at home on the last day, which could
12
be a draw.
points. So you're saying Man United are going to get 12
points?
No,
but I don't think they can. I think they might drop points at Fulham.
So you think they're going to get 10? Let's say they're going to get 10 points.
So they're going to get 10 points. And that puts them on to 70. And then we'd get 71.
If that happens, then salute to you. But
so you're going to win every game from now until the
end of the season. That's the part that doesn't worry me as much. Because either way, I know.
Wait, do you have anyone actually tough that's a bit of a 50-50?
So we've got Tottenham tomorrow, which doesn't worry me in the slightest.
I think you win that.
Cool. Yeah, cool.
Then we've got
Tottenham at home or Tottenham away?
Tottenham at home.
Oh, easy win.
But then I wouldn't have worried us till I watched the Man United match the other night. It wouldn't have worried us. I would have said Liverpool won, but then I watched that the other night.
Become more clinical.
It's at Anfield. I can't see them.
They've become a lot more clinical. Gakpo's finding his feet. Nunes every time. Diego Jota's back as well. And is he still injured? Because I know he's got a knock on FPL.
Jota
and Diaz is starting to come back, get minutes as well.
Yeah, Diaz is on the way back.
Yeah,
but I reckon we can beat Tottenham at home pretty simply. Because now I think some people are starting to see what there is to aim for, and that's going to just build the confidence up. Then we've got Fulham at home, which I reckon we win. Then we've got Brentford at home, which I reckon we win. Then we've got Leicester away, which I reckon
you win that. Yeah.
Then we've got Villa at home, which is the dodgy one. I'm looking at Villa at home, second to last game, going, ooh.
Nah, I think you're right.
Awful, Villa.
But I think you're right with Liverpool. I don't think.
And then last game of the season, Southampton away.
It's the United fixtures that you're expecting United to look. I know United aren't in great form, but you're expecting them to drop points pretty much almost every game.
Yeah, I can go.
And you can't underestimate the teams that are battling relegation either, because they can just they can literally pull a result out.
I can tell you my reasoning behind it, and I look at that defense without Varane or Martinez. That's a ticking time bomb. that Maguire is due a mistake, Lindelof is due a mistake, Luke Shaw at centre-back. I know he's their best centre-back, but he's still not 100% in that role because he's a left-back naturally.
Yeah, agreed, yeah.
I also think with the amount that certain players have played, they're either going to be injured. I think Rashford's kind of a little bit of something right now.
Yeah,
or they're going to get injuries because they've just played that much football. And I also think that when's the FA Cup final? Is it like the week after?
The week after,
the last game?
yeah.
So I reckon that there's a real chance of him sort of sitting there going, last 2 games of the season, both of them are at home. He starts resting some players to try and make sure that they don't get injured for that cup final. I just think with everything that's
going... Realistically, Newcastle only need 10 points and then
also,
9
Newcastle
9 more points.
Newcastle are done. We cannot catch Newcastle are too good. We cannot catch Newcastle. All the circumstances around United is what's giving me that little bit of a, ooh, maybe. Just maybe. And it was the draw against Tottenham.
That'll be the laughing thing. Like, to be honest, that'll be the joke of the season if Man United don't make top 4 after all.
Oh, yeah. Really.
My God. I would absolutely.
Where I agree with Tom to a degree is, don't forget, Alessandro Martinez is out. Rafael Varane, we don't know when he's coming back. Casemiro, with how rash he is, he could easily get another ban. And I know this is a lot of hoping things, but the 2 injuries to their centre-backs is the reason why they're defensively collapsing in games. And if they come across a team with... Because Spurs in that first half, in my opinion, showed no desire to win that game. In the second half, something switched and they actually showed a bit of the quality they actually have. Kane started playing a bit better. Son actually looked like he wanted to finish a goal. And that's where it kind of all switched for them. When you look at teams that, for example, like we know this is like... When teams are battling for relegation, they're not going to be like lapsadaisical. They're not going to come into these games not wanting to give it 100%. Luke Shaw's done a good job, but then you've got Lindelof or Maguire playing in that other centre-back role. You're really telling me that's good enough to really hold out and just see wins out?
Yeah. That's
and also, as well, though, there's
other teams above
Liverpool, you know. Like Aston Villa could go and win every single game.
Yeah, but you know what, Kendall? A lot of these teams that are above us, so you've got Villa, you've got Brighton, you've got
to play them, don't you?
They all end up playing each other. So
yeah,
I know
someone did say that the other day, actually.
Brighton have both City and Arsenal. Villa, I'll just find Villa's fixtures now, but they play us. They play
Brighton play like everyone in the top 6. They play us. They play Man United. They play Man City. They play Arsenal.
So out of Villa's last 5 games, they've got United away, Wolves away, Tottenham at home, Liverpool away, Brighton at home. That's a really tough set of last 5 fixtures. It's the fact that they play each other loads. It's Tottenham playing Villa, Brighton playing Aston Villa. We've got away with it in the sense that we don't necessarily play the majority. We've Villa and Tottenham, and that's it.
Yeah, we've only got Brighton left as well.
Same. We've got Brighton.
Or Arsenal, but I'm not bothered about that really.
But that's the thing with Brighton. That's why I kind of wanted to...
What did you just say?
I'm not bothered about that game. I mean, if we lose, it doesn't bother us.
You're not losing to Arsenal.
It is at home as well, like, to be fair. But
no, you're not losing to Arsenal.
Oh my God, I will die laughing. I will honestly die laughing if we stop them getting top 4 last year and we stop them winning the league this year. I'm sorry. I like Arsenal. Honestly, I do. I actually genuinely like Arsenal, but I'll just even laugh. I'll just be silly, won't it?
For me, I said, that the last thing Arsenal needed was having this, like, we've seen it now, that Arsenal, psychologically, they're remembering things. Like, you've seen it with City. We're in their head, They struggled to go in City. Now, this group of players, there's not that many new faces. There's a few, but not that many new faces to what happened last year, similar time of the year at St. James's Park, right? It's a long journey. They've got a lot of time to think while they're travelling up there, So... this young Arsenal squad, the way they are right now, they don't need a trip to St. James's Park because it will be in their head that this time last season, they bottled top 4. And now they're having to go there and face a better Newcastle.
And we've got the Amazon documentary this time.
But the other thing is, Brighton, the fact Brighton still have to play City. Brighton still have to play Arsenal. Brighton still have to play Newcastle. And I'm not saying that as in that's bad for Brighton. I'm saying that all of us lot need to remember how good this Brighton team are looking at the moment.
Yeah, 100%.
So I'm just glad that
we play them. I'm pretty sure we play them like before the last game of the season. So I'm just hoping that we're done before then. I can't be chewed, can there, mate?
You know what? Yeah, I did tweet just before we went live saying I don't know whether what's happened in these past 4 games is a blessing for Arsenal in terms of the pressure's off. Or because now it's like City are going to win the league and it's not on Arsenal, like it's not in Arsenal's hand. And that could be what we. But you know what it is, though? Bigger than that, Arteta needs to pattern his ideas up. The man is playing out of form, dickheads on the pitch. If he doesn't fix up, I'm questioning him. Because if he plays Thomas Partey after the shit show man's been putting on, I'm going to question him. If he doesn't play Leandro Trossard in games, I'm going to question him. Because the fact of the matter is, the reason why we lost these games were Pep, number one, allows his team to be tactically flexible. We've seen him drop the likes of KDB. We've seen him drop the likes of Foden, Bernardo Silva's, Mahrez, like just to get a reaction out of them. Arteta's done none of that, and it makes me question, like, when you're seeing 3 games before the Man City game, and you've still played these players, that means it's on you now, because I can't keep blaming Rob Holding for playing. I can't blame Thomas Partey for playing. So if he continues to do that going into the Stamford Bridge game, and he plays the likes of Thomas Partey and they drop stinkers, this is all on Arteta.
Do you know what? Right, so
you're not playing the Stamford Bridge.
I want to be clear with this, yeah.
I
want you to drop points against Chelsea. Of course I do. I'm not going to come on here and say no. I do want you to drop points against Chelsea. However, there is a part of me that firstly thinks it will happen, but also a bit of me that I won't be mad at it, is that I actually want Arsenal to batter Chelsea, right? Because in the summer, when you were maybe struggling to make some signings and Chelsea and Tottenham fans were laughing at Arsenal, and then you played them and beat them 4-0. And I said, good, because Zinni and Jesus have joined up with this Arsenal team and said, we haven't joined you to go and lose to Chelsea, right? And I will be honest with you. On Wednesday night, obviously, I was happy that we beat Arsenal. But watching some of the stuff I was seeing on YouTube, and I'm sat there and I'm watching a panel full, no City fans on the panel, a panel full of rivals, 2 Arsenal fans, and there's Chelsea fans laughing, mocking Arsenal, right? And do you know what? That's the world of football. You mock people. But the key to that is it was the same night, the same time kickoff, that they lost to their local rivals 2-0, right? They're supposed to be the big team in London. They lost to Brentford 2-0. And instead of being concerned about that, I'm seeing Chelsea fans tweeting about Arsenal, going on and cooking Arsenal. And I'm not going to lie. I don't want no other team siding with what we're doing and trying to ride what we're doing, because you don't like my team. You talk about oil money. You talk about us being cheats, yeah? Don't then try and ride our dicks. Sorry, I hope that's not swearing. Just because you've got a problem with
It's all right. Sol's already brought the no swearing rule about 5 minutes.
And even more so when your team is, like, we're talking about fixtures. Has anyone deeped who Chelsea have to play?
Yeah, they're so lucky. They're so lucky that there's 3 more games left in the season.
They might not win a game, but they still will stay in the league.
They won't face relegation because of the other team.
Oh my God, please. That would be my greatest season of all time if they
15.
went. That would be too funny.
I think this would be the best season in the Premier League history in the last 50 years or something.
15.
Let's be fantastic. Chelsea.
You can't spend £600 million to go down. It just cannot happen.
I tell you what, Leicester could pick up 10 points. They're definitely getting 3 against Everton because Everton are dross. Then Fulham away is a bit of a dodgy one. They won't beat us. Newcastle, again, probably not, though. I think Chelsea are just, and I do mean just, going to scrape it.
Chelsea are going to finish off 15th
or 16th.
They are lucky there isn't 3 more games left in this season, because you could put them up against Bournemouth and Forest and who's bottom, Southampton. You could put them up against those lot for the last however many games of the season. They're not beating anyone. They are that bad at the minute.
And it's with Tottenham at the moment, yeah. That second half for Tottenham, because I've been saying for the last week or two that I feel like the 2 teams that are now on the beach already are Tottenham and Chelsea, because they don't know, the players don't know what's going on with the clubs. So they're like, well, we're just here. We don't know what's going to happen. Now, the second half for Tottenham, to be fair, against Liverpool, it looked like Ryan Mason actually knows how to get the players up for something. Whereas with Chelsea, even though they've said, yeah, Poch is coming in, they all know, well, he ain't here yet, right? And Frank, we know you're not going to be managing us. And I just think Chelsea look like a team who have the players do not look like they care one little bit. And they're going to be coming up against teams that care a lot. I think Chelsea are very lucky that Tuchel got them 10 points.
Do you know what the biggest issue with Chelsea is? There's a power struggle at the club. We've heard like articles of Bowley getting involved in team talks and coming and speaking to the team. That undermines anything the manager does. The owner should not be getting that involved within the player like meetings or player discussions, tactical discussion, who's allowed to play, who's not allowed to play. But they've set themselves up for failure in reality. When you look at the amount of players, number one, they brought in, it was 15 signings in January. You don't even expect that in the summer, let alone a winter window. And they went and spent 300, 400 million pounds or something. It's crazy. It's ludicrous. And the reality is they had no idea which direction they wanted to go in. They weren't all Graham Potter signings. They then sacked Graham Potter within 6, 7, 8 games of the window shutting. And then they now want to look into potentially bringing Pochettino in, potentially bringing Nagelsmann in.
I bet you
that can even navigate to something else if something else becomes available. They have no idea what direction they want to go in. I don't think they always have a plan.
To the people, to the Chelsea fans that are in the comments, and what I'm saying is, because nothing I'm saying is non-factual, and they're saying, oh, where was this chat 12 years ago? Well, firstly, Chelsea were very good 12 years ago. Secondly, I wasn't doing YouTube 12 years ago. And thirdly, Manchester City were not very good 12 years ago. So I don't know what point you're trying to make. That's a weird comment, because 12 years ago, we all would have been sat here saying Man United are going to win the league again. So I really don't know what you mean.
What relevance does 12 years ago have to do with it anyway? We had about this season news.
I think
22, 23, we are here,
What does 2011 have to do with João Felix and Kai Havertz being awful in front of goal?
Honestly, do you know the personal investment I have in this season for Chelsea is unbelievable. I am being proved right on so many things, and I'm actually was genuinely tired of arguing for as if I was El Cholo's some bodyguard or something. I was his PA, and I'm not. And I'm being proved right on every single thing. And the other day in that Brentford game, right, when literally the pass was coming to him, and he it was what the hell's going on? He genuinely didn't know. And I was honestly, he's coming back to Atleti, and it's actually going to upset us no end. I can't deal, because now we can't get rid of him. There's going to be no getting rid unless it's a cut price deal. We're going to get 30 million from now, when the release clause was 240 million.
Yeah, but he signed a new contract before he was loaned out.
Exactly. This is what I mean. So it's even hard. It's even harder to get rid of him now, and then ever going to get the money that they want. Not even a quarter of what they think that they'll get.
I blame the advisors of Felix personally.
Oh yeah, Jorge Mendes is his agent.
To all the wrong clubs. For me, he was not an Atletico player. He's not a Chelsea player, or not a Chelsea now player. He should be going to the teams even Liverpool.
Who is a Chelsea now player though? I don't think anyone's a Chelsea now player.
That's fairly true, but going to somewhere like Liverpool, going to somewhere like United, or even Arsenal.
No, I'll be honest. I would still much rather, because it was probably 1920, 2021, those years where people were looking at João Felix. I preferred Jota. I think Jota's a better fit, and I still preferred Bobby Firmino. To be honest, the one I wanted to replace Bobby Firmino was Havertz. I wanted Havertz to replace Firmino, and I'm happy that we didn't get him in the end.
Even Havertz,
Havertz has been actually nominated for an attacker in the Premier League Team of the Season. Do you know that?
It's mad.
Why?
That's actually cheeky.
They couldn't find anybody from Chelsea, and they wanted to choose.
No, 3 Chelsea players got in. 3 Chelsea players.
Yeah, Kepa got in. They included Kepa, Arrizabalaga, so that's the standards of the 40 players.
Kepa, Havertz, and Thiago Silva. We got 3.
It is what it is.
In I can't believe Nunes got nominated, but Nunes, Salah, and Alisson.
Ake didn't get nominated.
Thomas Partey didn't get nominated.
You don't deserve it.
So I don't understand how Diaz will get nominated and not Ake. You either go both or you choose Ake. Like,
do you know what?
Well, no. To be fair, I do know why Ake didn't get nominated because it was it's FIFA. It was a FIFA thing, and Ake was in the other one.
So it is not. So this is still not the official nomination of the Premier League. This is the FIFA.
No.
That's what I said. This is the FIFA nomination, right? It's all about player ratings and stuff.
Isn't it also kind of somewhat voted by players, like the game players? It's a bit.
Yes, it is voted by the people that play the game.
I need a breakdown because, like, I was having this. Me and Hassam had this kind of debate about who won Player of the Season last season, and I was saying, you know, the Premier League website's the official Premier League one, which is sponsored by EA, not FIFA. Kevin De Bruyne won that, but then Mo, I think, won PFL. And when there starts being different awards, it just all becomes a bit. But I think
we had the same thing.
Was mad. But
remember when we won the league that year, but De Bruyne got PFA, and everyone was, and Henderson got the other one. Still can't believe
there's always two.
We ran a campaign for Jordan Henderson to be better than Kevin De Bruyne. We were actually the most shameless fan base in the world. I genuinely feel the need to apologise to any Man City fan that gets brought up.
I'm always a defender of Henderson because I think I still, to this day, firstly, I do actually rate Henderson's passing range. Yeah. I'm not saying it's De Bruyne level, but I rate Henderson's passing range. And I do think he's a leader. I'll stick by that. But
I think he's a traditional leader because I think leaders in teams now are a little bit different, aren't they? Like, they're not like the Roy Keane situation. We had this conversation on the overlap yesterday. And I think Jordan Henderson's a bit more traditional. And what I must shout out Jordan Henderson as well, because actually he comes to St. James's Park and doesn't get rinsed, whereas Jordan Pickford comes to St. James's Park and gets absolutely rinsed from the second he steps foot in there until the end.
I need to thank you got so much for what you've done to Everton, by the way, because I don't, to be honest, I don't care about what happens with us for the rest of the season. If we're doing Europa League next year, that's fine. The finals in Dublin, I can have a good piss up.
Oh wow, is it?
But
I
need Everton. I need Everton going down. I need that more than I need anything.
Too. Same here. I second this. I really need Everton to go
in the
down.
Championship. I don't think you understand.
What's Everton hate all about? I don't get it.
I'll tell you why. Obviously, Tom's is a bit more obvious.
Yeah, I get it.
Here's mine, right? When we got relegated in 2016, right, they brought a flag to the game saying "sub on the time, see you later," and all it, like, brought flags and celebrate our relegation, right? And then suddenly became bestie pals with Sunderland for I don't know whatever reason. I think it's actually because of the bridesmaids of the city and like they're just a second club. They'll never be as big as their counterparts. I think that's why. And then just obviously Rafa. Obviously got absolutely rinsed when he was at us.
He's been their best manager as well.
Then he went to them hilariously.
I'll tell you why I want Everton to go down. I'll tell you why. Because Everton spends so much money under the radar. People don't notice that Everton get top players, names and stuff, but they never perform. They haven't been performing for the last 3 years. And I'm
all you need to do is go through their transfer. There's a 3-year transfer period from about 2017-18 to right before they signed that James Rodriguez, Alan. The core one, even though they didn't end up turning out great, they were better than the Drosti. I remember they spent in the summer in the January where we got Van Dijk. They spent £60 million on Theo Walcott and Cenk Tosun.
Yeah, I remember that. And then Tosun
did he pay 40 million for a Warby or something as well? I'm sure.
35, 40 for a Warby.
That's the reason why I want, because you cannot be buying all these players, getting the Carlo Ancelottis, the Rafael Benitez. And then at the end, play that brand of football and be that bad. I'm like, just go down. Go down, reset your club, and then come back up fresh.
That's not even why, though. I don't. The situation around Everton, they've got that new stadium getting built. Yeah. I win either way. So either they have this brand new state-of-the-art stadium hosting Rotherham and Plymouth as their main attractions for their open season, or they're in that bad a financial situation because they bought Cenk Tosun and all them. They have to. There's a contract clause in where they're building the stadium, Bramley-Moore Dock. If they can't fund that stadium getting built, they then have to demolish that stadium and return Bramley-Moore Dock back to the condition it was when they started building. So if they can't afford to build it, they then have to pay to knock it all back down.
I actually heard that. I heard that on the radio the other day.
Yeah, but someone will step in and pay for it. They're not going to knock it down. Come on.
They don't have sponsors.
Do you know how funny it would be if they actually had to, though?
It'd be the most Everton thing that could happen. It would be the most Everton thing that could happen.
Is it Moises
Dominic
Keane or
Calvert-Lewin
something?
having to like get bolts out of some. I'd love it. I'd be like, oh, I'd be there.
Hey, Kendall, where have you gone? Where have you gone that now the demolition team is their players?
They won't have to put anyone
can't afford
else.
to buy actual
Everyone else
demolition
will
people,
be
so
there.
they got to get the players to
Yeah,
do it.
Sean
it'll either
Dyche
have
have
to
to get
be
his
the
hand
players.
on, I'm
It'll either
afraid.
have to be the players or the fans. It's one or the other. Like you got all the Evertonians
Sorry, I
in
should
their
not laugh
thousands.
at other clubs' downfalls because it was me once. I'm sorry, everyone. I should not. But
And also, do you
they
know
laughed
what?
at
The other
mine, so
thing
I'm laughing
with
at
it
theirs.
is-
Here's my
Am
theory
I not
about
right?
this.
Sorry,
I'm
Mark,
okay
just
to
quickly.
spend money. Okay, go ahead.
Just quickly on Everton, am I not right that Everton is the longest standing Premier League?
Yeah, I'm
Or
sure
one
it's
of-
Everton and Arsenal or something.
Yeah.
Arsenal.
Like the two
I need them
longest.
to go down for that as well. I need them to
they
go
got
down so
something
we can
over
stop
you.
celebrating that.
So I'm okay
Well,
with
I wanted to
clubs
prove that
spending
transfer
money,
point
but
that we
if you're
made earlier, Mo. At 1920, that was the year that I was on about. So it was 17, 18, 18, 19, 19, 20. Let's go to 17, 18. 2017, 18, Everton spent £200 million on Sigurdsson, Michael Keane, Jordan Pickford, Davy Klassen, Theo Walcott, Cheng Tosun, Sandro Ramirez, Cuco Martina, Wayne Rooney, Eliki Mangala. The year after...
Did Mangala go to Everton?
here's this.
He was there on loan.
Look at this comment.
18-19, they spent 100 million on Richarlison, Yerry Mina, Luca Dean, Kurt Zuma, Andre Gomez, Bernard, and Cuco Martini came back from loan. That was probably an all right window by their standards. The next year, 150 million spent. Alex Iwobi, Moise Keane, Andre Gomez. They actually got him on a permanent this time. Jean-Philippe Gabamin, who played 10 games for them, he cost them 25 million. Fabian Delph, Jibril Sidibe, and Jared Branthwaite. And then the year
Where
after,
the freaking hell's he at now? Remember when he was like meant to be the next big thing?
Jared Branthwaite, he scored on his debut against Liverpool and then just dipped again.
They won the first 3 games with Ancelotti, and then they thought they're going to challenge for the league.
Carlo Ancelotti had them fourth.
And then they
like
didn't
that's
win,
not normal.
They didn't win a game for 18 games. They didn't win a game for 18 games. But anyway, forget Everton. Let's talk about...
just on Ancelotti. Can anyone remember, but this shows my age, there used to be this program called This Is Your Life, right?
Yeah.
Right, and they'd give someone, so basically it would be about a celebrity's life, and they'd have a red book, and they'd hand it over to them. And I always imagine Ancelotti's This Is Your Life. And I reckon they would literally strip the Everton bit out. It just wouldn't. You look at Carlo and Ancelotti, yeah, and he must even look back and be like, "What the hell was I doing?"
Have you not heard how he ended up back at Madrid? So he was ringing up. Everton had no director of football, or he wasn't on good terms with the director of football, whatever it was. So Ancelotti rings up Madrid to ask about a player. I can't remember who it was now, but he asked to ring up about them, and obviously he's got a good relationship. He managed them a couple of years ago. He got chatting away. And he said, "What are you doing about your new manager?" And they went, "Oh, we don't really have an idea of where we're going to go to." And Ancelotti went, "I'll do it. I'll do it. And he left like 2 days later.
Please give me a job.
The funniest part was though, he did an interview and he was like, "Yeah, I'm staying here the club and that." And then off he trotted to Real Madrid and did this. Do you not remember that weird statement he put out where it was like, and he just was saying all things, and he was like, "But I've got to leave to follow my dreams and stuff." And it was good. I Real Madrid. I was like, I would have cried if that was my manager. Like, I genuinely would have
that
cried.
player they got? Who was the player? Started that season off really well.
Yelovich, was it?
No.
Calvert-Lewin, bro. Calvert-Lewin.
No. He's foreign. He was South American.
James Rodriguez.
Yeah, Rodriguez, and he literally. He put on his Insta, he was on a flight leaving Everton before the season had finished. He was just like, "I'm gone. I don't want to be here no more."
Oh, the funniest thing that, you know, them like crap rumors that people start sometimes through the WhatsApp messages to get spread on Twitter. James Rodriguez has the funniest one of those where someone ran because he got injured and it was a mystery injury. No one knew what it was, but he was out for about 2 months. And then someone ran with one of them bollocks WhatsApp things, and it was James Rodriguez who went through full gender reassignment surgery.
Yeah, I remember that.
And they've chopped his dick off, lad. That was how it ended. Honestly, that Everton team was hilarious, and I want nothing more than for them to go down and have their new stadium, have all their big things, have Rotherham, Plymouth.
If you would choose a team, Chelsea or Everton to go down, which one?
Everton. I'd sooner just beat Chelsea every year. Everton
because Chelsea have been a bit like relevant in the last few years, if you know what I mean. Obviously Champions League and stuff, but Everton haven't. I know I haven't either, but I'm not saying anything like that.
If Everton go down, they don't come back up. Everton will not come straight back up if they go down as well. They are in that bad of a state.
I hear that. Look, Everton, when Man City got relegated from the Premier League, we were in a really bad place because when you get relegated, if you have a big wage bill and you have players that maybe think they're better than they actually are, you get into that Championship. And it's not as bad now as back when City got relegated, but we had Kinkladze. And the minute we got relegated, Kinkladze was just getting kicked all over the pitch because the referees do not defend you like they do in the Premier League. And it's just, and then you have players who think they're better than it, so they're not pulling for the team. We ended up, when we dropped to the third tier of English football, we actually ended up having to go and buy a player called Andy Morrison. I recommend if anyone reads, go and read his book. It's sensational. He's a player, Scottish player, but from Plymouth. And he was an absolute shithouse. Yeah, sorry. He'd like left several clubs for having punch-ups with their managers and stuff. You see him, he looks like a rugby league player. But we had to get that type of players in because he cared and he dragged the team back. And he was like, he didn't care about players' egos or none of that. But
I always say, until you play in the Championship, you don't know how hard it is.
Nah.
You genuinely don't realise how hard it is
look at
until
Wigan.
you play in there.
Look at Wigan. Wigan have just got relegated again, by the way, today.
They're League 2 now, right?
Yeah, and that's what can happen.
Charlton did the same thing as well.
Yeah, you can go into.
They went right down.
You really can.
Okay, guys, please hit that like button. This is the last time we're going to ask this. We have 270 of you here, and we're not even on 150 likes. Please hit that like button. This is the most random show I've ever done on YouTube ever. I've never done a show this random, to be honest.
Well,
there's no agenda. There's no agenda. There's no agenda, nothing, but people are watching. I hope that everybody's enjoying this. This is.
Do you know what? People probably do enjoy it because it's speaking out something other than the friggin' top six
title race,
which is every single week, or Man City versus Arsenal, or is Pep going to win the treble? So people probably are enjoying it because it's something different.
Yeah, it's a proper like when you go to the pubs with your mates and you're watching a game. It's proper vibes.
I'm not gonna lie. At DR today, so they do soccer Saturdays where you watch the games and you kind of have debates, but while watching the games, and usually there's like maybe an Arsenal or a City or a Newcastle. Today, I had to, and I'm the first one to admit it. I am not a content creator that watches every single team. I watch Manchester City, and if I'm lucky enough to watch other football, great. But it was nice to watch other teams today for once because there was nothing on. So but I guess
I had you watching. Right? You remember when I was at your house? We were watching every game. You remember we had like
but that's because of you, Mo. That's because of you. I had no choice.
I was telling him I'm watching every game. So we put laptops, other screens, and I'm like, well, I'm watching every game. We have to see how other teams play. He's like, but
and that's the same. When Cass is moving in tomorrow. From then, it'll probably be the same. But like when I don't do YouTube and City aren't playing, I like to actually switch off from football sometimes. But
this is why I've loved doing commentary lately, like on the weekends now, because I get to watch like just random games. Like I'll just get assigned a game and I get to watch it. Like I've been watching Bundesliga this year, which like because I've commentated on a few games and it's not something I would technically watch usually.
I didn't know that you are a commentator. I had no idea.
Yeah, just radio commentator now. It was just another string to me bow. I do all sorts me now. Just get me something else on my CV. But
Bundesliga is mad though, isn't it? The Bundesliga is like a pure mad league in terms of just how much goes on there.
I've never ever
it's
watched
so quick. It's unbelievable. The games are so quick and so fast, and the defenses are wide open. It's unbelievable.
It's literally the I don't give a F league.
Yeah,
we're just
you just see the
I'm gonna attack too. Like you're 5'4", I'm gonna fight.
I did.
It's like those street fights. It's like fam, you ain't punching me. I'm punching you as well. There is no defense.
I did a game a few weeks ago, and it was Bayern versus was it Bayern versus Leverkusen? Oh, it was one of them, anyways. Someone was like, it was someone really close to the top of the league, and then it was like Leverkusen. Oh no, it wasn't, man. It was. I can't remember who it was now. It was Mönchengladbach. I've done that many. I can't remember now. And it was like no one was expecting this result at all, and it ended up being like 3-0 to the team that no one was expecting at all.
Was it Mainz?
Everyone was. It was someone. Tom, I can't remember who it was now. And they ended up
pronouncing the players' names.
I spoke German for 7 years though, so I'm pretty all right with it sometimes.
Guten Tag.
I think that's why I get the German because I dropped it in. I dropped it in at one point, and then they were like, oh, so you speak German? And I was like, oh my God, I haven't spoken for 10 years. Like, don't get on it. But I can mispronounce names, but I can't speak German very much now.
Ich habe eine Frage. I speak a little bit of German as well.
I don't
I
anymore.
can barely speak English, and you're able to rattle German off.
No, I can read it really well.
Tom,
the same as Spanish, I can read it. I can't speak it because I can't. I used to be able to speak it fluently until I went to university, and then I just stopped speaking it when I was 20. And you have to, languages are something that you have to like keep up with to be fluent. And I stopped speaking it, and now conversationally, this was the game. Conversationally, I cannot construct a sentence in my head anymore because the word order in German's absolutely mental. It's just bizarre. But yeah, you've got to like speak it all the time. But pronunciation, I'm all right with.
That's how Tom feels about English.
It's mad.
I can't speak English.
Do you want honesty? The first time I did a show with Tom on the terrace, like about a year and a half or 2 years ago. I had no idea what he was saying. Like I had zero idea what he was saying. I swear. And we would talk, and he would say stuff, and I'll be like silent. And it looked like it was pointed to me, like that question. I'm like, somebody else take that.
You know how bad it is? I went to uni in Manchester a couple of years ago, and I had a project. I had to do a recording thing, a 3-minute recording thing, and I got it back like a couple of days before it was due to be marked. And he went, "It sounds really good, but I'm going to need you to put subtitles on it because the marker won't be able to understand you." So I had to spend one of my nights, instead of going out on the piss up, typing in subtitles for a 3-minute thing to not even get the highest mark because they still couldn't understand. I then got it back, and then he was like, "We don't know if the subtitles line up with what you've said." It was it's one of them ones where, when you sit there and you go, "Wow, I can't understand myself." I just
like, when you write something and then you read back your own writing and you're like,
"Did I write
I
that?"
actually don't know what that's.
Do you write in Scouse? Do you write in Scouse, Tom?
When I do articles, I've got to.
It's Scouse.
What does that mean? What does that mean?
Do you like write how you pronounce stuff? Because I do sometimes.
Oh, yeah.
Hold on. There is a way
I've
to write in different
times.
accents.
Yeah, like so sometimes if I say a word, I'll write it in my own. I'll write it in an accent, and people are like, "What does that mean?"
Have you ever done this, right? So you know, like how you have different dialects, right? And there's certain things you say in between, and you've accidentally wrote that in an assignment. Well, I've done that. I've written stuff right in my accent.
I've done it where I've been talking and then I've been thinking to myself, writing an essay, and I've been like, "Oh no, that's not right," and I've typed, "Oh no, that's not right" in my essay, and then I've gone, "Oh no," I'm thinking of what I'm writing. Oh, uni was just a disaster.
I used to get it.
Literally can't think.
To this question, yes, I do watch La Liga.
Yeah, me too. Atletico fan.
I'm not cultured enough to watch La Liga.
Bro, do you know what? It's the most purest form of football. That's what I always say.
See, but I don't. This is the thing, when people sit there and say, "Oh, I like pure football," I actually just prefer pace and power. I would sooner watch a team of pace and power because I just think that's more fun.
People, you know what people say to me all the time? No one can ever call me a glory hunter, right? Or no one can ever say to me, "You only watch football because like it's good to watch." I have spent 20 years watching Atletico. Like 11 of them have been Diego Simeone, right? And another 25 years watching Newcastle United, right? Fair enough, Kevin King. I don't remember that. Don't remember Bobby Robson much, like of the era of any managed. I've spent 15 years watching Alan Pardew football, Steve McLaren football, Steve Bruce football, Rafa Benitez football, which is not good. It just is very reliable, so it gets you results. This is why I'm so happy now. And everyone's like, "Oh, like, how come you're so glad now?" I'm like, proper defensive of Eddie Howe. Well, because I had to sit through 3 years of Steve Bruce. I will defend Eddie Howe till the end of my days. Do you understand? Like, I will defend Eddie Howe forever. But I actually like El Cholo's football. I like Diego Simeone's football because it's pragmatic and it works.
Defensive football.
Exactly.
I think defensive football is
like
criminally I think people just slag it off. And I've always said this. If you were to give me 2 options to win a game, a 1-0 perfect defensive performance or a 5-1 perfect attacking performance, I'm taking the 1-0.
Do you know what?
Because I love that style of football. I think it's much more impressive.
Do you know what? The thing is with the 1-0, I can't, right, I disagree. However, with a 1-0, at least you could say you're not disappointed, because with a 5-1, if you're 5-0 up and then you concede a goal because you've got sloppy at the end.
Yes.
And I am a big fan of a clean sheet. Yeah. So I do get it because that one goal is, and Pep's
get the Lennar sponsors in, get the Surf sponsors in, and the
send me some free condition. Whatever. Anyway, what else do we need to talk on, Mo?
Ozan, he's like, thank you for the super chat. He's saying, I don't know what the show is about, but I totally rate it. Me too, man. I had an agenda. I had some stuff written here next to me, but they were like gone.
We got chatting about Everton and it all went downhill.
I like it. To be honest, I like this. It's just it's too much.
I mean, as Sol said, the floor's yours and debate. So that's
to be honest, like we've talked so much about Arsenal, City, Man United. It's just too much.
A bit boring. Yeah.
We want Jack Napier. That's for you.
Do we? I don't think Daps does.
No, look, you know what? Yeah, I honestly, although every now and again I do jump in just to check the comments. Yeah, but to be frank with you, I don't really read comments no more. So if he's floating, in fact, the other day we were doing a show and Mo messaged in our WhatsApp group saying Jack Napier crying faces, yeah, with laughter. So when I jumped off the stream, I went through. And I can only presume that during the City Arsenal game, he maybe had 1 or 2 drinks because what he was writing was wild.
Well, who does he support?
Well, he supports Arsenal. But I don't know
about it. That he's an Arsenal fan.
I don't know whether I don't know Jack's ethnicity. And I'm not here saying that, your hairstyle should be a particular hairstyle. Only certain ethnicities can have a particular hairstyle. But I've always presumed that Jack Napier
is going the wrong direction.
No. I've just always presumed, my presumption has been that Jack Napier is white. And he was talking about how he's got his dreadlocks. And since he's got his dreadlocks,
that's why I was laughing.
He's savage. And then he's talking about how he's got 3 bodies and all this. And I was just like, and I said to Cass, do you know what I said to Cass last night?
I'll tell you the backstory.
No. Do you know what I said to Cass last night? I said, with Jack, yeah, I'm actually at a point now where I don't know if he's actually just wild as hell, yeah, just gone, or if actually he is an absolute elite level troll, yeah, because some of the stuff, if he is, he's one of the funniest trolls I've ever met in my life. If he's actually genuinely trolling all the time, he's elite. If not, Jack, I'll give you a cuddle. Like, come on, man. Let's be friends and play nice. He DMs me often on Twitter, but I ignore him.
Bro has like 20 accounts, and every time we block an account, he shows up with a different account.
Bro, I've never known anyone.
Always writes uppercase. Always writes all the messages uppercase.
I wish I could create accounts that quickly. It's amazing. Within seconds, he's back with a new one.
And then he's like, he always comes for Daps. He supports Arsenal. Anybody that says anything about Arsenal, he's like, no, we're the best club, blah, blah, blah. And then when they lost, he was like going in everybody that on the show, on the chat. He's like, I'm a gangster. I will like get you. Show me where you. I have dreadlocks. I have this and that. And I couldn't do anything in the show. I let people talk, and I was just watching his comments. Anybody that said anything about butlers, he like went for them like full on. And it was so funny.
Do you know what? The conversation now, it's almost like.
But let me tell you, let me just tell you one thing. Do you know that?
Hold on.
He was on.
Is God? Is God male? Is God female? Is God a tree? Is God white? Is God black? And now, forget God. What's Jack Napier? Is he real? Is Jack actually one of us in an account that we'll take it in turns to use to guide the others? Like, who knows?
I'd never heard of this Jack Napier fella before, but I'm very invested in the law now.
Well, he followed me over here for Miguel's stream, right? And
I was going to say, I've come across the name, like I've heard the name before, but I was like, is he a footballer or something?
No, he's an Arsenal fan that is.
He sounds incredible, you know. I can't lie.
Apparently he's a roadman. He's always got his strap on him. He's got dreadlocks, but he's on literally every...
What is it with you and attracting people in ballies and that on stream?
That's mad. He's one of the nicest guys in the world.
Do you reckon the next thing he's going to say, yeah, like, I'm in these trap videos in the background. I'm a background dance off the trap videos.
No, but with Jack, it's like he's apparently the biggest gangster, the biggest roadman, carries his strap everywhere he goes. But he's literally in the comments on every video. Like he's in Football Terrace, he's DR, he's everywhere. So I'm like, wow, he must be the kingpin that doesn't even need to do anything on road because he's got so many people. He's on YouTube all day long, man.
That's what he's there for. They're all
maybe he's like a YouTube pimp. He just pimps people out to comment on YouTube videos. Well,
has anyone seen Suits recently?
Oh,
no.
Suits. I love Suits.
Right,
I love
no,
Suits.
because that's Jack Napier, really. That's where he is.
Anyway,
hope everyone's enjoyed the show.
Anyway,
I enjoyed it. It's less stressful. I didn't have to think about anything or pull up stats or do anything.
Are we all ready for next week, by the way, when they're playing the national anthem before all the games? Because we're crowning.
You're at home, so that's
that's going to be a fun one.
Go well.
I don't think the Anfield
guess
will
who
be very
goes again?
supportive.
You know what would have been so incredible? Imagine there was a Merseyside derby that week. They were like, no way we're doing this.
Honestly, like, I don't know what they're expecting is going to happen because I don't think they might even try and make, do their messages which they send out on the thing before on the speakers of the fella going, look, we need you to be well behaved, just respect it. No, it's not happening. I can promise you right now, that is getting drowned out by booze.
Oh no! But I honestly, I feel pure awkward when it happens. Just like when Christian Atsu died and we played Jews and Liverpool sang "You'll Never Walk Alone." And I was like, "Oh, it's fine." And everyone around us was like, "Whoa, why are they doing that?" And I was just like, "Oh, I hate awkward situations." Just drown me out.
This is the thing with that. Like the fans do it as a show of respect because it's a song and everything, and then you've got the ones who look at it and go, look at them fucking Scousers making it all about themselves. And they go, we can't win. We can't win.
No, but it's
I can't. Honestly, I'm so excited to just listen to the booze for that. So excited because it's just going to be so funny because you'll have to come with 5:30 as well. So we're on the telly. You'll have Martin Tyler or whoever there trying to justify why it's getting booed.
They're not doing the anthem. They're not doing the anthem. It's just a player on the pitch.
Hold on, what accent was that?
I don't know.
Anyway, when Daps says more, he sounds like me saying more.
Mo.
Yeah.
More.
Yeah. More. When you say more, you sound like me saying more.
No. Do you know what it is? Yeah, with the Manc accent, I always get told we stretch certain words.
So you're right?
Yeah, he's from Manchester.
Yeah.
So only Daps doesn't have the Manc accent full on like Steve.
Do you know the funny one is if you met my my sister's kids, my niece and nephew, so they're Mancs. They were born in Manchester, but their dad's a Scouser, and so they speak with a Manc accent, yeah. But then every now and again, they'll just go no.
Oh, do you know what?
I don't want it.
I can't I adopt people's if I spend a bit too much time with one person, I'll get their accent.
Oh, you're like one of them annoying 15-year-old girls at school that used to do that. They go on holiday and come back speaking fluent Spanish.
No,
I can't do that.
See me either.
With someone
even
for
if
a year.
I try to do another accent, I just sound Geordie still.
No.
Even if I try
to sound like a Scouser or a Geordie, putting on an accent.
No. You know what it is? I used to work somewhere, right? And their Liverpool office shut down for a bit. So all of their workers came over to our, and I swear I spoke to Scouse for a week. I just
you picked up not just the accent.
I'm sure Daps, you'll know this. Daps, you'll know this. So kids now, like my daughter, does not speak with a Geordie accent. She speaks with an American accent. So she'll say trash, put that in the trash can. Can I have some candy? And I'm like, really? That's not how you speak.
My daughter the other day said to me,
it's a better accent than the Geordie one.
My daughter said to me the other day, she goes,
that is rude.
My daughter goes to me the other day. She goes, "Daddy, I've learned currencies now. I know what £4 is." I go, "What's £4 then?" She goes, "It's 400 cents." And I was like,
"You thought you were there."
I think in 10 years' time, all girls that speak English will speak with a Valley Girl accent. Yeah. Every single girl in the world.
Valley Girl.
The Valley Girl accent.
What's
kind
that?
of LA.
It's the LA girls accent.
Yeah, 100%.
That's your mic. Your mic is a little bit sensitive. I don't know what's wrong with your mic, bro.
I need Cassie.
I have no idea how we
aliens.
still have 250 people watching. I have no idea.
This is just vibes. This is a nice
It's probably
chat.
like it's probably like bedtime vibes. Like, you know what I mean? Like Saturday night, you've had like a long day. Just come home and just stick us on. We'll probably fall
I'm
asleep
going
to
out
it.
for
Whoa,
drinks.
Daniel, whoa, I will not have Scouse accent. If you want the worst accents in this country, it's Brum. I can't stand Brum.
What is Brum?
Birmingham.
I actually disagree. There's no worst accent. There's different accent. No, because I watch all these TikToks and everybody's saying Birmingham accent. I don't think it's
I don't mind it.
as thick as the Scouse accent. It's not as thick.
No, it's not. It's just bad.
I can't lie. Scouse accent's jokes. Like they'll say some random stuff and it just makes you laugh. The Brum accent, I'm just like, fuck off. Just piss off. Just do one.
The Scouse accent's
Do you know the worst accent in this country? The worst accent in this country, and you just won't really understand it because everyone just thinks everyone from the northeast speaks with a Geordie accent, but it's not true because there is like 4 cities in the northeast, well, 4 like big towns. But the Mackham accent, Sunderland accent is horrible. It's like, how is Eddie Howe getting out these plays more than what Eddie Howe is doing? It's horrendous.
It sounds like Geordie with a blocked up nose.
It is Geordie, but with like a
blocked up
it's
nose.
Completely different to Geordie.
No,
it's like they pronounce words way differently.
No, it's the Queen's English in a Geordie accent. That's what they are.
No, do you know what it is? I've always
said the Scottish accent. Can't stand it.
It's like
I like it.
Someone.
It's funny. I
It's
like
like
it.
someone who can't do accents trying to do an
bro.
accent. So I reckon that Malcolm accent is someone who really wants to do a Geordie accent, but they're really bad at it. So they can do the same words, but it just sounds horrible. It's the same thing.
Honestly, there's a Sunderland like content creator, and I forgot honestly what he's called now, but he was saying like, how is Eddie Howe third with this team? Like he was doing a video about it the other day, and to his fair, he was all right about it. He didn't actually say anything nasty, to be fair, but and he was on. I was just thinking, my family, like half of my stepdad's family are from Sunderland, and I sometimes wonder how family parties go. Actually,
I find the worst accent, if I'm being honest, kind of like, I guess the way Northerners see it is because I get told, "Oh, are you from London? You're a Cockney, right?" I don't actually live in London. I've never lived in London in my life. And
do you not live on the outskirts though?
I live in between London and Birmingham.
Yes, it's like an hour and a half.
Yeah.
But like the way it is, it's weird because where I live, if you live like Bedford, Milton Keynes, anyone there or south, you sound like you're from London. If I go 10 minutes up the road to Northampton, they all speak with like a hint of Brom in their accent. And
like Coventry and Nottingham accent's different.
Yeah, but they're like borders though, isn't it? They're like bordering cities. So
it's all weird. But anyway, this is Chew the Mo. When I've said we used to have a show called Chew the Fat, this is what Chew the Fat was. Literally just talk about anything.
That's when I first knew. That's when you used to do Chew the Fat off years ago. Yeah.
Bizarrely, when
it's extra time debate show, so we're just debating.
And it's refreshing to not talk about the title race. And this is a bit like, remember, was it last season where
someone put in Essex accent? I hate that.
What?
You know, like the Essex, like, however you fucking say. I don't care.
I hate Southern. There's no
Gemma Collins.
Do you know what? Like, if you listen say UK rap, and then you listen to any UK rapper from South, they all kind of sound kind of the same. Whereas anyone with an accent, it makes the music have more of a vibe to it because it's like,
Hazy.
It's why I like the American team more than the UK.
Hazy was the worst thing that happened to me last year. Hazy was the worst thing that ever happened to me last year because anytime I go on a show, the comments would just be filled with that. Even on the terrace, someone donated like 10 quid to get me to sing it on the terrace. That's all Scousers wear for about 3 months. So there's this Liverpool rapper who made a song like January.
I know A-Star.
No, what was his name? Hazy, I think it was.
Hazy,
but he was a rapper.
It was like in one of the black box ciphers that they all do. You know, when they get like 8 or 9 of them to do like.
So guys, if we get a super chat for £10, Tom will sing on.
No, I'm not doing it. I'm not doing it.
Oh, do you know that?
And it will all go. It will all go to Tom.
I feel like a little show monkey who's just been flaunted around. He's got an accent.
But it's like H. He sings in a Manny accent, doesn't he?
This new thing that's going to happen. You know the Mass Rabbit Diddy, is it, or whatever it's called? The whole speculation who it is.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, guys.
Yeah, apparently it is.
One that's a footballer. Apparently a footballer.
Yeah.
I'm dead.
I'm not
He's got the same tattoo and everything.
That flow was hard. I actually
Who was
enjoyed
it? Who is it then?
I reckon
It's meant to be Shea Ojo.
Plays for was it Cardiff, I think now.
Cardiff City now, yeah. He used to play Rangers.
He used to play for us, which is sad.
When it got up and everyone was listing the people, that was the best bit about it, going through some of the players that people were listing. Like they were like, it's clearly Shelby or something.
I'd put Dan Burn.
Dan Burn. Yeah, people say Dan Burn. That's not Dan Burn.
Another one, when you finish this, the other one that some of you will probably remember, maybe you won't, is on a thing called Lord of the Mics back in the day. Who was it? Balassi.
Bradley Wright Phillips and Balassi.
And it's well good because I remember Balassi said something about Bradley Wright Phillips not being that good, and Bradley Wright Phillips like rapped back to him basically saying, I'm playing with Thierry Henry right now, bro. Like, what are you talking about?
They were like hammering each other about never getting in the England squad and that.
Yeah.
I can never take Yannick Balassi seriously because that comp that will always come up, that comp he's got for City. I can never take Yannick Balassi seriously because of it. Anytime I think of Yannick Balassi, it's that comp.
He played for Everton as well, didn't he?
Yeah. He was actually all right there as well until he done his knee in.
Oh, he was
okay,
because the Balassi flick was so overpowered when he did it.
We're gonna take.
He just used to have Dejan Lovren on ropes every.
Yeah.
There was that year period where Crystal Palace done us in 3 times. Even Gerrard's last home game.
People are still here.
Crystal Palace beat us 3-1.
I can't believe it.
Crystal Palace done a double over us that year. 6-2. They beat us 3-1 at home. They beat us 3-1 away.
Bro, Palace did the double. Didn't Palace do the double over us last year?
Yeah, Palace done a double over you.
Yeah,
was it the double? I know they beat you at home.
Southampton, I think
you didn't score in either game either.
Mad.
That's crazy.
Mad. Anyway, that was Mo sat here thinking this is mad.
We saw Sammy more because we've literally just took this just a whole another direction.
Okay,
that was someone never meant to
happen. Oh my god. Let's go, Tom. Gotta mix these back.
That's the lyrics to the song. He's only done $5, so as
this guy,
that's only 500 cents.
Okay, I remember these bars. I know who you're talking about now.
Yeah.
I don't know what
I
it is.
10.
Yeah. Oh, this went viral when it came out.
Don't worry, Tools. I know.
And potions, no peace. I don't understand what is he
saying.
Hold
on, that's 5.
Is that English?
Hold on, that's 5. We need another 5.
Yeah, it's English, but it's like
seriously. No, this guy's in America. 100%.
Oh, we said 10. That's 5. We need someone else, please. Even if it's a 2 and a 1 and a 2.
Didn't Ozan
we need 10. We need 10. We need another 5 somehow.
There's loads of rappers, footballers. We've got rappers like Vernon and Anita who used to play for Newcastle. He's a rapper.
Oh, Depay as well.
I need more super chats. We need this to happen. We need £5 more in super chats.
Remember,
that'll just end the show.
We had a whole show on the Football Terrace where we went through like football rappers and we were trying to rank them.
On
Midnight Vibes. Like
Zinchenko's one.
Was it?
We gotta give this guy something. We gotta give this Ozan guy something.
Just quickly, one's to check out Zinchenko's rap. That's quite funny. But then one I found the other day is there's a Harlem one.
Oh, it's so good. It's so good.
From when he was a kid.
Yeah.
From when he was a kid,
I've got a bit of a thing for Harlem, me lately, like.
Oh, listen. He's made me question if I'm a tree.
100%. Like
No,
he's very. I'm a fan.
Let me rip that mainframe out and we'll see how many people.
We could be a bit of twins actually, but anyways.
Hold on, we got 7. Thank you to Mixed Mitchell, love for that. We got 7. We need £3 more.
Okay, here's one for you, Daps.
Am I seriously going to be spending my Saturday night singing a Scouse rap?
You gotta do it.
You love us, Tom.
Wait, can we not just take Ozan's other donation and?
Or what we could do is, we could just.
It's Tom. It's up to Daps. You have to send you the money, PayPal you or something. Daps will send you the money.
After we take what YouTube takes out of it, 100%.
Take 40% now.
What is it now? 40% of the
40% of these.
Me, they finesse. Oh, there we go. We got it. We got it. Because that's over the $10, but he alone has done 10.
Thank you very much, sir. Mo, could you quickly make this? Is it possible? Because I know you've done this beautiful overlay. Is it possible to make Tom full screen and have us down the side quickly?
I can make. Yeah. Let's try that. Let's try that.
Real quick, Tom.
Let's try
Thank you very much for the super chats. Much
Tom
appreciated.
is absolutely thinking, I wish I never said anything about this.
I should have just kept my mouth shut. I don't know why I speak. I've done this to myself.
It is £12, by the way. They went over the 10.
Yeah, so we want an extra line in it as well. We're getting there.
I'm gonna get Tom. I'm gonna get Tom. Here you go, and then
we'll get rid of those boxes in the background quick.
You need the battery.
You know.
No,
Here we go.
Like, what am I doing? Am I doing the first verse?
You've got
No. We paid 12.
I don't know where the chorus is, though.
Oh, is this karaoke? You've actually got the lyrics up and that.
I've found the lyrics, yeah, because I've got to sing it.
All right, the first verse.
Here it is, back row.
Why am I putting my hood up like I'm in some sort of
right?
music
Okay.
video,
Yeah, leave the super chat.
Why have I done this to myself?
Ladies and
10 past 11
lad.
at night. Right, okay. How did it go? Okay. Gotta mix these packs and potions, no peace till I put a sim in a burner. I'm on the block like Werner, back road lurker, fully paid bro, I'm an earner. I fly past, I'm a head top tamer. The melons are washed like Sammy Khedira, and they should start calling me uncle, because when I speak on these beats, they get murdered. Bam, 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 bam.
Oh, you might as well start rapping, bro.
Get it.
Yes,
I forgot Sammy Khedira got mentioned.
Mo needs to go and listen to the actual song now after this. We'll have to link you.
You know what? Watch it with the visual. It's so funny. Watch the video and watch it whilst it's so jokes.
They just made the music video in front of the Trent mural. That was all we done. They just went and stood in front of Trent's mural and started rapping about packs and potions.
Well, it's like when H did straight rhymes. That was the first time I ever heard of H as well, and he was just in like a little back street of like houses. Like it was just like.
There you go, Mo. In the private chat now is the link to the actual song.
It's joke check because the guy goes to like the most rundown takeout. It's so funny where you bump into.
You know what? My best friend started off filming music videos on his phone, right? Then he got a camera, started working for Link Up and SBTV and all of that, and now he's the VP, so Vice President of Content Creation for Live Golf. And he started off like on a phone. So it is mad how it all starts off, isn't it? Mad. Anyway, Mo, this is the maddest show you've probably ever had.
Ever.
Well,
what you just said then is, if I ever do anything more in the industry, I've got to look back on this extra time debate where I rapped hazy packs and potions as the build up.
Hall of Fame
CV and everything.
Right.
Thank you for that, Tom, because you didn't bottle it, unlike Gooner Soul's team.
We can't debate that.
No, that's for the full show.
That's the end of the show.
That's the football show.
Thank you and good night.
You need like a Tom and Jerry like little thing.
You know what you got to do? You got to Tom.
This is 100%.
That's a new outro. That's the new outro for NAF. It has to.
Outro for
NAF. Well, Cass is going to clip that up, and he will have 100%.
That. This is going on Twitter. It's going everywhere, bro.
It's brilliant, though. Scouts has got talent. That's how it is.
Scouts has got talent, bro. Anyway, thanks.
Okay, guys, thank you so much. We're freaking out of here tomorrow. Rivals, real football talk.
Oh yeah, tomorrow morning.
But it's never gonna be as fun as this one. It's never gonna be as fun as this. Never. I think this is gonna be the best show in Neverfall ever. See you guys.
I swear to God, if I wake up tomorrow morning and Kaz has tweeted that video, I'm done.
I've already messaged
him. Why do I speak? Why do I open my mouth? Why do I not just think? Why do I not put two and two together and think before speaking?
Because you're Scouts.
Yes, very true.
Have a lovely Sunday, everyone.
Love everyone.
Enjoy.
Bye.
That's all, folks.